This lecture is over Government Section 2.3, the first national government. It's important to know that the first government that the U.S. had is not the same one as that we have today. The one that we have today was based on fixing some of the mistakes that this first government endured. The Second Continental Congress helped keep the 13 colonies together during the war. They took care of a lot of issues, but they did not have the authority to do so. So in 1777, they officially created the Articles of Confederation, and that's the term used to describe this first government. The leaders wanted to have a pretty weak national government. The unicameral legislature was most powerful. Each state had one vote. It required 9 of 13 states to decide any major event, and there was no executive, that's a president, and no judicial system, that's the court system. The powers of the national government under the Articles included the ability to declare war, conduct foreign policy, borrow money, establish military forces, have an army and a navy, settle arguments between the states, and manage relations with the Native American Indian nations. The biggest accomplishment of this Articles of Confederation was the passage of the Northwest Ordinance. This basically takes care of admitting all of the territory of the Ohio River Valley. That's this yellowish section right up here. They also made sure that there was no slavery in the new territory. They also talked about how to admit the new states to the original 13. They wanted to have the new states equal to the old ones so we didn't end up with tyranny. They also passed a Bill of Rights for the new territories, which included making sure that every state had a representative government, there was religious freedom, and that every person was guaranteed trial by jury. All of those good things, though, did not make up for the limitations. This is on page 33, and you probably want to take a look at that as well. The biggies, though, were there's no president or executive branch to enforce the laws. There's no national court system, no officials pretty much any time to enforce the laws. The biggie is there's no power to tax, so there's no money coming in, and they had no power to regulate trade. So when Virginia passed laws against the other states, it pretty much cut down on national trade. Now, in addition to those weaknesses, there were lots of obstacles to unity that kept us from coming together. First, cultural differences. Religion was a big difference throughout the colonies. Some wanted a strong national church, others no church. Plus you have the difference between Catholic and Protestant and all the various forms of Protestantism. People had come to America from different parts of Europe, so they did not want a strong national government that might actually cause the people to splinter apart. Also had some economic differences. Should there be slavery? The North didn't want it, the South did. The South also wanted the plantation system that definitely took care of their economy. Should imports be taxed? How about exports? No one wanted to be treated unfairly. Plus you have just the whole idea of geographic isolation. Distance is huge. Distance from Georgia to Vermont, it might as well have been from Vermont to England. It'd probably be easier to get from Vermont to England with the shipping lanes. Now, everything was sort of falling apart, and in 1786, 5 states attend the Annapolis Convention. All 13 were invited, but only 5 show up, and they try to fix the problems with the new government. No major resolutions come about, but they do agree to meet in May of 1787. Now, during the winter of 1786-1787, Shays' Rebellion occurs over taxes in Massachusetts. It's a little rebellion of drunken farmers that almost takes out the whole state of Massachusetts. This forces everyone to realize that their government's way too weak and that if England really wanted to, they could come over and conquer. So a change had to occur. This ends the lecture. There is some homework assignments, and make sure you have your study guide filled out.